Think we're live. Yeah, looks like we're good.
Yeah, you're live.
What's up? We are here live with Ryan Bowen and Andrei Sharkevich on What's Next for You, episode number 2. What's up, guys?
Hello. What's up?
That's
Welcome, welcome.
feeling good. Feeling good. We inside 2 weeks, so it's getting close.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Even
been
less.
following your training very closely. Your weight loss journey, very inspirational. And it seems like you're doing the impossible and actually getting stronger as you get lighter.
That's yeah, man. It's look. I've never in the 11 and a half years been in arm wrestling. I've never had discipline in my diet until now. I've always just eaten anything and everything. Sugar. I was a sugar fiend. So Paul Lynn inspired me. He set me on the right path, and now I'm trying to get down to Andrei Sharkevich level body fat. So
Oof.
we're on the way.
How much you right
But
now?
yeah, it's getting stronger too. That's the most important thing. Haven't lost any
Yeah,
strength in the
it's not a
process.
bodybuilding contest, Brian. Exactly.
What was that?
It's not a bodybuilding contest, so
That's true. That's true. Well, thank goodness, to be honest. Thank good. I think I'd do way worse in the bodybuilding contest. Have you seen how pale my skin is? Like,
yeah.
I need some tan. I need some tan from Mikey. Yeah, no.
So what's the diet like now, Ryan? Are you on carnivore
Man,
like the rest of the world?
yeah, it's been carnivore essentially since my match with Schoolboy. So I was 107.8 kilos when I weighed in for that match. This morning, like you're gonna freak out, Andre. You're gonna freak out when I tell you what my weight is this morning. I'm trying to. I was like, I'm gonna eat more because I want to be high energy. I want Andre to know that I'm coming strong. But 90.3 kilos this morning was my weight, and it just keeps on going down. It just the fat just keeps on disappearing, and I'm eating so much food, it's ridiculous. So, um, carnivore. I've tried to introduce carbs in the last week again to get ready for this match. Lars Rabakin gave me some guidance on how he does that, and because he's been carnivore for maybe 4 years or something. And so I've introduced complex carbs this week, but the weight just still keeps dropping. So, but I feel amazing. I feel amazing, and I will carb up quite significantly in the 48 hours prior to the match as
I
well.
was I was surprised one day you posted like you're eating like around 5,700 calories and weight still were like dropping, right?
Yeah, well, that might have been one particular day, but yeah, like my average day is about 3,500 calories at the moment. That'd be my average day.
Okay, same as me, I mean, like, bro.
Yeah,
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 you
and
know,
and and it just keeps falling off. So
maybe four,
I
maybe.
I I I had I went to my son's soccer match on the weekend. And Bradley asked me for a running race, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." I feel so light now. So I was like,
Mhm.
"I'll give you a massive head start." Like I surprised myself at how comfortable it felt to run. I was like, "Wow, I haven't felt like this in a long time." So no, it feels good, and what it all means for the table is the big question. I don't know. I know that in the gym, my numbers are still good. So, um, but we'll find out. We'll find out September 14th.
Yeah.
Shark, let's talk a little bit about your diet. You've switched things fairly recently too.
Yeah, no, listen, I actually don't eat a lot of protein, maybe like 1 or 2 meals per day, and the rest is basically carbs. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm like a sweet eater.
Wow. And you're still maintaining that bodybuilder physique.
No, listen, I mean, I have a lot of muscle mass, so it burns a lot of, calories. So for me, like to maintain weight, yeah, I need like probably like around 3.5, 4,000 per day. So, I mean, it's really hard to eat using only protein. I mean, it's like, yeah, I need like ice cream. I need, I don't know, some like honey, some bars, some, and also complex carbs. Yeah, like a lot of rice, buckwheat, like pasta, pizza, you know. like s-
You plan on
And weight now like 237 right now, like
okay.
these clothes. Yeah.
Do you plan on staying 220? That's going to be your competition weight?
No, we don't have weight cap for this.
No, not for this match. Just going forward in general. I mean, eating like this.
No,
You-
I mean, I don't know. I can do either 220 or 230. Yeah,
Okay.
probably is a good weight for me now. Yeah, like two of those classes. Yeah, I can do both, I guess.
You know, what am I in pounds? I'm not even sure. 90 kilos to pounds. What is that? I'm 198 right now.
Oof.
198. Crazy.
Yeah, sounds like a bad day. You're right.
So we're
It's like-
talking 30-pound difference right now.
Yeah, it's nuts. But I don't know. Like I don't feel weak right now.
Yeah.
I feel really strong, and the thing that's probably exciting me most is kind of like what I experienced at the soccer the other day with running, is how quick I can be. I haven't felt this light, and I can already feel just in my ability to twitch in shadow boxing that I'm like, oh man, this
But they're
this
gonna
feels like a
load you
different
too much. You're not gonna do fast start. I mean, they're gonna load
no
so
fast start?
much. No, not fast start. Like a fast start. Like I'm gonna load you so hard, so you're not gonna be able to start it. You know.
You just make sure you don't run out of fuel with that squeezing whilst I'm just
Okay, I'm
playing around
squeezing the
waiting for that
grip
ref
every
script
day
to
for
go.
many times.
Like the one beautiful thing about arm wrestling is you can reduce it. Like no matter how much your opponent wants you to load, you don't have to load. So you can try to make me load, Andre, but it's not going to be
That's
there.
what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna feel
Just
like
stay
this
limp.
light as a feather thing. You'll be like, where the hell's Ryan's pressure? Oh, there it is. Oh shit, I lost my wrist. That's what it will be like.
Dream.
It's definitely going to be an exciting match. It might be, in my opinion, the match of the night between you two.
I hope so. I hope so. I want it to be so bad. Yeah. If it goes the way that I've dreamed it in my head, it will be a very, very good match. I don't think it's an easy match for anyone.
We'll see. Yeah.
Are you saying it's going to be an easy match there, Shark?
I mean, I don't know. Listen, it's hard to say, really. I mean, if he can, like, maybe with King's move mess up with me, I mean, that's maybe goes to harder match. But I believe there is some like ways when I can kind of protect and like get like pull kind of in a smart way, so not even let him to use his King's move as like in the right way. So. Because it's also too hard to use it. He like he said, he lost all his like pro matches using King's move. Why he think he's gonna win this one? I mean,
Because I improved really quickly. That's why. And the King's move, I've only used the King's move in 2 matches.
Yeah.
And they were my last 2 matches. Ron
so you lost
Bath
them.
and Schoolboy.
So
And Andre is definitely presenting a different set of assets compared to those 2 guys. I very different shape, arm and hand relative to them, different strengths and conditioning. So it'll be completely different, but I'm getting more and more confident with that King's move. And for me,
I also
like,
start practicing.
yeah, I know, but the King's move. I watch the dudes that you're practicing with that are trying to King's move, and they are terrible King's movers, Andre.
I started practice myself to do the King's move.
Okay, yes. I hope you do end up in a King's move. That would be
see a
my
double
biggest
King's
delight.
move?
So we can,
We could get
if
you in a
something
King's
goes
move,
wrong,
Andre. I
we're
will be
gonna
so happy.
end up in double.
I will be so happy. You will though, like you will, and I say you will because you will not want to lose to me that bad. The pressure is going to be so high that if you are headed that way, you'll be like, screw this, I'm going there. Because no one wants to lose to me. No one wants to lose.
Is Ryan, for you, the King's move, is it a last resort move or is it a go-to?
Oh no. It's not a last resort. I've
like, do you drop right into it?
Because of Lachlan Adair. I blame Lachlan Adair for me developing a King's move in the first place. So over the last few years, he was fundamentally too strong for me to use any classical shape.
Right.
Pop roll hook. It just there was no value for us in training if I was just trying to do that. So I had to develop and let's call it an open arm top roll. For me, like in my head, a King's move is once it actually becomes sketchy. That's
Yeah,
a King's move. Like
like a Michael
that's a
Todd
King's move.
situation.
But
Yeah.
that to me is not a King's move. And this position right here is where I trained with Lachlan because I had to for the last
Right.
bunch of years. And that position there, I feel like I could hold up so much. Like I held Ron Barth there. Ron Barth fully committed pressed, and I held him.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's just
I'm
another
confident
weapon in your arsenal. It's not like a, oh shit, I got
yeah.
dropped.
It's a go-to weapon. If I connect completely to it, I'm certain I can hold up Andre. But as I respect that Andre said that he's gonna endeavor to not let me connect to it. That's his priority, and that's the right strategy, to be honest. Because if I connect to it, it's problematic.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we know, does Knuckle Up, do they allow King's move in a losing position or only winning?
I had it. They sent us the rules just the other day. I had a good read through them, and I don't know what they were before. They said there was a couple of changes, so I don't know what they changed. But things that I like is there's 3 fouls. I like 3 fouls when you're the weaker man. When you're the weaker man, 3 fouls is good. You get to draw the blood for a little longer. Make Andre have to do it again and again. But also one thing, Andre, I don't know if you read this.
No, not yet.
Two factors. Inconsequential elbow fouls, they don't call. So little bobbles don't get called, which I like. I like that we just run on with the match no matter what.
I like it.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's advantage for both of us. I think. I mean, that just lets arm wrestling happen. But
Right.
I also noticed that they said, with respect to the King's move rule, they defined it as if your shoulder goes below the elbow pad. Okay, so top of your shoulder going below the height of the top of the elbow pad is where they call it, but they don't call it a foul straight away. They actually say they give you 3 seconds to correct it. And I'm like, Andre's gone. Andre's gone.
You get a warning.
I got 3 seconds. I could actually do what's illegal in other leagues against Andre, and they're just going to give me a warning. I'm sorry, Andre, but people are going to say Ryan went below the table. I'm going to say, hey, read the rules. Every time Andre surges, if I have to do that, I won't feel good doing it, but I will because it's in the rules.
No, but I mean, 2 warnings is a foul, no?
Oh, yes, 2 warnings will be a foul. Yeah, if I
so
do it twice,
you can go only twice up and down, and then you can get a foul,
and then it's a foul. But 3 fouls, so 6 times.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long game. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, Andre, how's your wrist flexion endurance? Because that's if there's anything that should be keeping you up at night, that's it. That's the problem when you crash against.
We'll see, bro. I don't know. I mean, I never faced it really like a King's move. So what I can say, I don't know. Yeah. I do some specific exercise to be ready to those moves, like pressure exactly when you go side and the strap breaks your wrist. I kind of do those exercises, but hopefully it works.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of footage of Lachlan Adair showing you exactly how to pin it. I mean, I can delay Lachlan pinning me, but I can't stop him pinning me. Ultimately, when I'm in the King's move, he still gets through 90% of the time, and he gets through by shoving his shoulder in a flop press, and he gets full Camille Jablonski position in the end, and ultimately he can push through. So, but Lachlan couldn't do that from the get-go, and it took him months of refinement of that movement before he's like, okay, now I finally got you. So the one thing about the King's move is that it is a bit of a puzzle. I've actually never faced a genuine King's move in a tournament before. So I've pulled with them on practice, but I think they're a nightmare for anyone in an actual comp when you've never faced them before, because it's too easy to make mistakes against them, and it just gasses you when you do make mistakes.
It really does. I remember my first time in a tournament against a King's move, and I thought I was going to be able to push right through it, and I gassed out so quick trying to fight it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then once you've done that to yourself, you're in trouble. Like
Yeah.
because the King's move is cool. He's like, I can sit here for friggin' hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still like when I try to practice King's move, it's still like I felt my pronator like getting like burned. So I don't
Yes.
know.
Well, that's the thing that I think a lot of people who are critical of the King's move, like when I look at the fans of the sport that say, "Oh, the King's move is just a cheat move. It's easy." It's not an easy move at all. And as Andre just said there, it does actually gas out your flexors and your pronator very well. And that's why it's as technical as any other move. Because if you get it wrong as a King's mover, yeah, you won't sit there forever. Like there's a lot of little tiny movements that you have to get right when you King's move in order to not gas yourself out. Because the hardest thing about a King's move is not the stop. That's the easy part. It's actually returning to some form of offense, because you can stop all day, but getting from here back to center and then over to victory is a really difficult challenge. And if you do it wrong, you will gas yourself as the King's mover for sure.
Yeah.
What have you done differently with your training, Ryan?
Since Dubai, my training has gone to I changed my rep range in the way that I measure success. Paul Lynn kind of set me on the path of explosive training being the goal, and he said 10 to 20 rep range, like a heavy weight that you can explosively move with a
10 to
little
20.
sloppier form than you usually do, but go for those sorts of numbers. So I've been playing with 10 to 20 rep maxes, and that's been really cool. And like I said, my forms have been a little sloppier than if I was doing strict 1RMs or something like that, which I used to do more of. So now, yeah, I'm measuring success by getting like my PR on dumbbell rows, for instance, is 70 kilos for 13 reps, for example,
Wow.
without a strap or anything like that in my hand. That prior to schoolboy, that record was 7 reps.
So do you feel like you're progressing because of a change in what you've normally done, or is this the new go-to now for what you think you're going to do going forward?
I think the change always does stimulate a good step forward, and I might still be in that phase there where it's just a new response to that new approach of training, but it hasn't faded out yet. I'm still getting that progress. So whilst ever that's happening, I'll stick with it, and once I start hitting the plateau, I'll start looking for something new. But I would suspect that the change has been the change in style of rep range has probably got something to do why the numbers are progressing. And so maybe that means I'm not stronger. Maybe it means I'm just more neurological efficient in that. I don't know. But overall I feel good. I don't feel any less strength. My 2 training partners, Rickard Borneman and Lachlan Adair, as the main guys I group up with, most importantly, they haven't changed their program, they haven't changed their size, and they tell me I am feeling dangerous compared to everything they've felt before. So
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
How long have you been training with this rep range now? You said
Since King of the Table when I faced Schoolboy, so I think it's about 13 weeks,
okay.
13, 14.
All right. Andre, what's your rep range? What do you typically go for?
I do some exercise like static hold, like starts like 30-second, 20-second, usually up to 10-second, but maybe some like heavy set 5-second, just holds. And like for like PRs, I do PRs. Yeah. And my range usually, I mean, 3, 5, 6 reps. Yeah, more like for strengths.
Really? Okay. So you've got low rep versus high rep on this one.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Coming from a bodybuilding background, I've always done high volume. I've always done 15 to 20, and I'm
I
recently
mean,
starting to switch.
because this is endurance, brother. I mean, I do like training, like practice. This for me more like endurance training, like when I go for arm wrestling practice. But in the gym, I don't need endurance. I mean, I need like lifts, like heavy lifts.
Okay. So you use
I do,
tabletop then for your endurance.
Yeah, basically.
I do like to test my genuine strength as well. I will go and pick up a heavy weight and do 1 rep just to see how it's feeling. But for for 98% of my working volume, training volume, yeah, it's high rep at the moment.
Are your 1 rep maxes going up with your high volume training?
Yeah, they're all solid. They're all solid. Yeah.
So the coincidence that you do 98%.
Yeah, I like that number.
It's a good number.
I didn't even do that deliberately.
I love it.
I have a question. So at the level you guys pull at, do you guys watch your opponents like videos or study and then tweak your training? Or are you just training how you usually train to get stronger in every area? Like, do you guys do anything specific for a specific opponent or make any like little tweaks to your game plan?
You go, Andre. You go.
No, I always do. Yeah, I think it's smart things to do because, everybody are different. So you kind of have to adjust your training for sure. So, yeah, of course, if he does king's move, I have to, to prepare something,
Yeah.
That's a smart way to do.
Yeah, and I would say the same, Ryan. I would say that without a doubt, the way that I approach every match is I try to go into my mind and imagine where the critical moment is in the match. And for me, what I define as the critical moment is just the battle that happens at some point in the match that is the battle that determines the winner. Like, it's not always at the start. Sometimes it's over here. It's winning this battle here that will get it. So wherever I think the moment is, I try to usually prepare 2 or 3 of these moments in my head, because you're not often correct when you've never pulled someone before and you don't know their shape. You got to guess. So I've guessed in my head where that moment is against Andre, and then for me, I go to that. I recreate that moment in the gym with cables and handles, and I live in that little moment. I do reps there. I do static holds there. I do plyometrics from there. So yeah, I've designed my game around Andre.
So you envision kind of where he's going to take you, and then
there's a bunch.
How do I get out of that scenario?
Yeah. There's a bunch of different spots that I've done this for. There's obviously the center table initiation that I've prepared for, but then there's okay, he's taken me off center and I've stopped him in a king's move. Now what? Yeah, there's a few, and there's also the finishing Andre problem as well. I respect that he's got a really significant bicep, and I guess that his physicality is very similar to that of Lachlan Adair's. So I have a sense of what it's like to try to get through a bicep as strong as that, and it's, for me, it's not a case of simply just go sideways. Like, it is a puzzle. So I can't just force the issue. I go into this match, I know that I'm not the stronger human. I accept that. But when you're in that position, just means you got to lead the dance, and I'll lead the dance. I can change directions with more efficiency due to my size and my lightness, and I think just my style of arm wrestler has been it suits me to that game. I think I had, if I go through my international super match history, I think I've had something like 15 matches. And I think I've won maybe 9 of the 15. And of the 9 matches that I won, I lost the first round in 6 of them. So
yeah, that's one thing.
Good at adjusting.
You have such a vast knowledge of the technical side of things. Even knowing those stats is impressive. That you pay attention to which rounds you've lost and how you can correct it. That's something I really admire about you.
The best time to get a good return on your money is betting on me when I'm 1-0 down.
Nice. I got a follow-up question too. I'm curious. What does it look like leading into a match like this? Do you take a certain amount of time off, and how much time do you take off typically? Light band work leading into it, complete dead time? What's your guys' protocol leading into a match?
I don't know. I had the month rest between East versus West Challenger series, so I just kind of slowed down the intensity of training. So try and kind of, when like reset up my mind. So because it's really hard to push all the time, so I also usually goes down with weights, but not much for a month or 6 weeks, and then I can go harder. But this preparation, I had like basically 6 weeks of training only because
Oh,
I
wow.
got sick in the beginning. Yeah, then I was like traveling. So it was like 6 weeks basically. Yeah.
So
But I
And for
got
me,
stronger than I was at previous competition, like slightly stronger, not much, but like some 5% stronger at some exercises. Yeah.
So you don't really take any time off. You just lower the intensity going in. You'll train
Yeah.
to the event. Brian, same thing.
yeah, this has been a really unique preparation for me this time. I've done things differently because of a bit of pain that I was in about 6 weeks ago. I was having shoulder issues. When I came back from Dubai, I was so enthusiastic with the explosive nature of things that I think I overdid it on some of the movements, and I caused myself a lot of inflammation. So I recognized I had to really back off earlier than I usually would. So I've done that. I've been resting now for a week and a half, and what I define as resting is you've seen, like, people have seen me on the table and people have seen me test out my strength a couple of times, but I haven't. I usually where I'm usually in the gym for 2 hours a day up until this point, no worries at all. That's all disappeared, and I've just been doing my little here and there tests of my strength. So I've been I'm rested way earlier than usual, and I'm pain free now, which is that was the priority, was to get rid of all inflammation. I needed to be in order to just mentally be ready to compete. I have to be pain free. So I'm obviously, as we all are when we're training, you're happy to be in that sort of sore state constantly, but for me, that's the only thing that matters, is that I'm completely pain free, I'm ready to go, and I'm there now. So with a week and a half to go, I'm kind of a little bit back in the gym. I've actually increased my training compared to what I was last week, where I was nothing. But it's just blood reps, and it's just light stuff, shadow boxing, and just reminding my body what's coming at the moment.
I'm surprised you're able to shadow box. That's it. I have background in MMA. I after arm wrestling now, I can't imagine throwing a punch. I feel like
Oh,
I
well,
should.
so when I say shadow box, I'm talking about arm wrestling shadow boxing. I'm not talking
Oh,
about actually punching. I'm
oh,
talking
okay.
about going to the table and practicing starts and things like that. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that before. That's interesting.
Oh yeah. I will spend probably 15 to 20 minutes a day at the moment with my hips up against the table as though it's a ready go.
Oh,
And I'll and
wow.
I'll and
With no
I'll
bands or
go through
anything,
stuff.
just air.
Yeah,
No,
just
no
there.
bands.
I'll just literally walk
Wow.
to the table and see it in my mind, the match, and start. Hit the starts, hit the starts, hit the starts. I'm a big believer in neurological efficiency being a huge thing. I think that without doing shadow boxing, I think you limit your I think you really reduce the amount of force that you have off the go. At the end of the day, force is mass times acceleration, and if you can more efficiently accelerate on the perfect direction, then it's a big deal. So I'm not, and I'm having fun with how light I am. So I feel like that's one of my biggest weapons going into this match, is the fact that when I step to the table and I have no load in my hand, that when they do say go, it's going to be very efficient,
Yeah.
whichever direction I go in.
So in
Andrei's gonna have
general,
to catch me.
are you beating your shadow?
What was that?
I said, in general, are you beating your shadow?
Oh, I have never lost. Not once yet. Not once yet.
That's good. That's good.
I might
But
have to.
yeah, he's always right on my heels.
Yeah.
That's funny. We didn't even ask them like
What's
next?
next for you?
You go after Knuckles Up. What do you guys have planned? Any other tournaments? Or I know you're going.
Andrei's gonna cancel his because he wants to go up from me, so he's gonna have. I know who he wants.
Okay, let's figure out with you first. And we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. No offer yet. I don't know. I don't know about like who is next. So Let's finish this match, and yeah, I guess we're gonna get some offers after.
And for me, it's completely exploring my new body weight and the opponents that are all of a sudden open to me. I did not like when I accepted this match, I was 107 kilos.
Wow.
And I thought that was me. I didn't plan. Like I blame Paul in a half an hour time in the pool at Dubai. It's all his fault that I'm here at 90 kilos. I didn't plan it
Thank
at
you,
all.
Paul.
Yeah, so if you get smoked
Well,
at that weight, we blame
Thank you,
Paul
Paul.
in.
Yeah, that might be good. But because of that, like all of a sudden, I actually genuinely think that there's still more body fat that's going to disappear. I'm not Andre lean yet. So
At which number are
I
you?
think that I suspect weight's going to get down in the next 6 months to maybe
85.
86, 87 kilos.
Wow.
Okay.
And from there, then I can really start dreaming about the 85 kilo class. So for 2025,
But
I would like
Ryan,
to.
what do you think? Which number in the world at 85 would you like be?
I don't know. I just know that the absolute top guys, Davidson Mushia is obviously the world champion. Sasha Andreev is the number 2, I think. And then you got Nerdalat, number 3, I think. And then I don't know. Then the names start getting gray. I haven't done my research well enough yet, but I feel like I can climb the top 10 legitimately in that way. If I am strong as when I face Schoolboy and I do well against Andre, then I think I'm really ready for the 85 kilo class. I mean, if Andre destroys me, then it'll be a bit more of a question where I have to still go and establish myself. But if I'm competitive against Andre, if I beat Andre, then I think if I beat Andre, I'm ready for start me off at number 5 or something like that, and let me see how I go. But if Andre belts me, then I'll start at number 20 and start climbing from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, beating Andre is no small feat.
Yeah, yeah, I'm aware.
A real test.
I'm very aware, but it's exciting because
Yeah.
part of being 90 kilos now is just the opportunity has become more significant. To achieve it at 90 kilos would blow my mind. I actually think that it's exciting for me just to go, oh wow, look at the actual opportunity you have in front of you here. To be
Now, would you
someone of
say
Andre's caliber
your
when I'm
weight
90
loss
kilos.
is that primarily driven for arm wrestling purposes, or life in general? You appreciate being a little lighter?
Well, I wouldn't have 12 weeks ago or even 10 weeks ago, I would have said arm wrestling purposes only. But now having lived it and felt the changes in my body, I'm addicted to it just on a health sense. Like it feels good. I'm like, oh, how was I so obsessed with sugar before? I don't understand because
Yeah.
I feel I sleep better. I have mental clarity better. I'm in a good mood more often. Everything's good. My joints hurt less in my knees. Like I can breathe better. Like all of it is good. And I've gotten past cravings. I don't have
Try
any cravings
vegan,
for
bro.
sugar at
Try
all now.
vegan. The vegan was best diet, the best mood, best health. Everything was.
Which
was
one?
the vegan or vegetarian.
I'm literally the opposite end of that.
Yeah, I was like, my experience was great, but the one things I didn't like is because it's hard to like with a social life. Because if you go somewhere, it's hard to find what to eat. Like with families, with friends, they eat meat. It's it's this part the hardest, but the rest was great. I felt great, and I won
There you go.
so many competition being vegan. No problem.
What did you do for protein being vegan? Like that to me
I
is
mean, I
always
supplement a lot. I mean, a lot of tofu, nuts, lentils, and some protein shakes and amino acids. Yeah, so was not a problem. The protein was not a problem. You have to supplement if you're on a vegan diet. Yeah.
What made you switch then? I mean, it seems like you've gotten
I
considerable.
don't know. I wanted just progress because it was hard to gain weight. I was stuck in 200 pounds. So I started back chicken, fish, meat, and I gained 30 pounds up. Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the difference, man.
Yeah, I'm
The
not-
weight,
But like
basically.
for me, the biggest success of this one, this diet, has been, Mike, you touched on it when we first started, is that I haven't lost strength during it. And
Yeah.
one of the things that Paul said to me during this process, he said, don't rush it in respect to weight loss. And I really haven't tried to rush it. But he said, look, I want you to measure your strength constantly in the gym. And if you start seeing your strength go down, let me know and we'll adjust. But it hasn't. It's gone up. And I'm like, and Paul has given me the same experience. He said that's what he had. He said he's eaten like this for a long time and his strength goes up. And he said his body's so used to it now where, yeah, like he doesn't eat carbs and his strength goes through the roof constantly.
So, I mean, you've been obviously in a caloric deficit to lose weight. Leading into this match, you're going to coast in a deficit, or are you plan on
Well,
blasting some food before?
I'm trying to up my calories at the moment, but I don't feel the need. Like in the gym, I don't feel flat. I don't get lightheaded after working out, or like I don't feel like I'm running on low fuel. I feel really good. And so I I I don't think I'm going to change anything. I talked to Lars Rabakin about this, and he said that he's been 4 years, 5 years on carnivore, and he attributes the diet to why he has very good endurance. He said he has experimented with different carb loading and that for competitions, but he said his body doesn't respond well to it, and he's the net result he feels is better if he just stays carnivore and just stays as he is. Paul Lynn, he has a slightly different experience from what he shared with me, and he suggested to me that 48 hours prior to the competition that I go really hard on the sugars, like go back to the gummy bears and all that sort of stuff for the 48 hours. So where Lars doesn't do that. Lars for about a week prior to competing will start having brown rice and things like that. So I've tried this week to introduce some fruit. I went to have a piece of bread at breakfast. I ate half the piece of toast, and I was like, I can't do this. It felt wrong, like not mentally, like physiologically, my body was like, I don't want it. I do not want that. So
Wow.
I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy to put the carbs back in. So I'll probably just stay as I am, and I'll probably do the Paul-in approach of 48 hours prior. I'll buy myself a big pizza and get some gummy bears.
Nice. So you are like all in on carnivore, like eating sticks of butter and all that stuff?
Well, I would say I'm probably again. I'll drop another 98% carnivore. Like the 2% that I'm the 2% that I'm not carnivore will be things like, so I wake up, I have a coffee. Then at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll have my first meal, and it will be about a
That's why
700 grams to
you don't eat
1 kilo.
until 1. I mean,
Sorry.
that's why you're losing. I mean, you don't eat until 1. I mean,
Yeah, but
until
when I get to 1, I have a kilo of meat, and then at
oh, me.
about
Oh my God,
5 o'clock,
right?
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'll have another 300 grams of meat. And then at night when
Did you
I'm sitting
not
there
get
watching a
tired
movie or
from eating
something,
meat all over and over?
what's
Did you
that?
get tired to eat meat over and over?
No, it went the opposite way. I started off not deliberately trying to eat meat. I actually started off with still eating carbs and all that sort of stuff. And my body just started telling me I want to only eat the meat. It happened at about week 3, 4, 5, where all of a sudden it became really easy. And now I never used to be able to eat a significant volume in one meal. I always used to have to graze all day, where now it's gone the opposite way. I now feel like I can eat huge volume in one go. Yeah, so a kilo of meat in one go is my biggest moment. And then 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, another 300 grams of meat thereabouts. And then at night when I'm watching a movie and I'm relaxing and I get hungry, I'll go and have some cheese and some pickles or something like that. So the pickles are the only thing they get in there that might make it not carnivore. But yeah, butter and all that sort of stuff. I'll cook all my meat in butter. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's interesting.
Andrei sounds disappointed.
Yeah, this is just experiment. I don't know. You shouldn't do experiment on me.
Well, it's not an experiment. Like it was like I said, I blame Paul Lynn. I'm in the pool in Dubai. And you got to imagine this scenario. You're in the pool in Dubai. You've just watched your best mate Lachlan Adair get drilled by Paul Lynn. And I know
I
how
think
good
it's just a
Lachlan is.
style. I mean, the Paul was just like
Paul's
not the
Paul.
best.
We're all different, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that's what life's like. You get one roll of dice, and you gotta listen and learn and pay attention. And I've tried many things, and the one thing I haven't tried was getting my diet on point. I'd always just eaten anything. And Paul managed to convince me, and so far the evidence suggests that he was right. Because I mean, like, even if
But
I'm
Paul usually, I
even
mean,
if
Paul
I'm
usually drops from what? From 105 kilos to 95 kilos, right? And
Yeah.
he kind of like gets on point to 95. You're already like lower than 95. So I don't know. It's like,
yes. Well, my body is still shedding so much fat that I have it that that's why I'm realizing I'm an 85 kilo guy. When it comes to the pursuit of the elite level, that's where I am, and that's the truth of it.
so imagine
and
like you're like 85 and I'm like 105. It's like 20 kilos of muscle difference.
but you know, the average weight of my last 5 or 6 opponents has been like 125 kilos. So I'm not worried. You're a lightweight compared to my average opponent. Like Schoolboy was
Yeah.
128, Ron was 115, Khaled was 125.
yeah. Good matches. No. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So like Matei Urangi 170. I'm
Did you
used
put
to
him in the
I
match?
train with dudes with
You lost to
I
him,
train
right?
with big guys. What's
Did
that?
you did you lose to Mate? I don't remember this
Matei
match.
Urangi beat me, yeah, in the last match. We had a good war. But he beat me. Yeah.
And what was your weight that day?
I would have been 105, and he would have been 170. Yeah.
So is this the lightest you've pulled at professionally?
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm convinced I'm convinced that I'm not less than I was when I faced Schoolboy. Like I'd be so shocked if I'm less than I was when I faced Schoolboy. So, yeah, I think that if I can bring the
Do you
same
know I
level
also
of
beat
strength that
I
did
beat
to
Schoolboy.
Schoolboy.
Do you know about it, Ryan? I beat
No, I didn't know.
6 years
When did you
ago.
face him? How many years?
Like maybe say 6 years ago at overall. I faced him at overall. So he was 240 pounds. I was, I believe, 220 maybe or 200 something. But so he faced first Paul Pasper. He beat him. Then he faced me. I beat him.
Nice. 6 years ago, he must have only been 16 years old.
And I didn't stop for a day to train. So so I believe I'm the same like level as him, maybe even stronger than him.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Schoolboy was too good for me, but I think I was close enough that I was like, okay. Yep. Like if I went again with Schoolboy, I'd do better again than I did last time. Like there were lanes that I was like, okay, there's value there. It wasn't a yawn fest or anything like that. He had to work. He got stuck in the King's move, and he's 6'5" and he got stuck in the King's move. So typically speaking, tall guys find it easy to beat King's move. So so yeah, he got caught up. Okay. You haven't tried this stuff? I just discovered this the other day.
Yeah,
Italian
Pellegrino.
Italian carbonated water. It tastes better than carbonated water from Australia.
Yes, Pellegrino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's popular here.
It's famous.
It's my new obsession.
Nice. Do you drink alcohol, Ryan?
No. Yeah, red wine occasionally at the moment, but it'll just be like maximum 1 glass in a sitting. I drink zero sugar. Like if I have a random craving, it'll be satisfied by having like a 0 sugar Coke or something like that. That's the one thing that I give myself permission to do. But I will do that with beer as well. I'll have a 0 sugar, 0 alcohol beer with a steak.
Wait,
like a sex with a condom, you know. 0 sugar, 0 alcohol beer. Oh my god.
But I'll still be drunk after it.
Now, you guys are very familiar with Knuckles Up. You both have polled on that before. Tell us about that experience. What's it like on Knuckles Up, especially compared to other federations?
Come on, Ryan, go ahead.
Go, you want me to go? Look, my experience with Knuckles Up was amazing. I say it all the time that I believe they give the best athlete experience. I've had the opportunity to compete under, I think, every major promotion there's been in the last sort of 11 years, with the exception of the Russian ones like AMC and that. But WAL, King of the Table, East vs West, Knuckles Up, Arm Wars. I've had the opportunity to do all of them, and the experience I got with Knuckles Up was amazing. They're incredibly organized. That's the first thing you notice about it as an athlete. Like, we've already all received our schedule, our program and schedule for when we arrive. We know exactly where to be, when when we can have our own free time, where all those things happen. We get picked up from the airport, we get treated and welcomed in the lobby of the hotel with a sponsor pack, and here's all the gifts. We get treated to every meal. Like, you got to realize how big that is for athletes traveling to have your meals covered as well is really
wow.
different. No one does that. Like, you might, at other places, you might get one meal here or there, but to have every meal covered for you, your significant other that you brought along with you as well, then you get to the event, and the event looks like, oh my goodness, it feels like you're legitimately in as high end pro sport as you can possibly get. Their production team is amazing, and the event itself is awesome. The crowd is going crazy in there. They love it. You feel like, wow, this is what it's like to be a professional athlete, and it feels very special, and it's a complete honor. And then after the event, they take you out for dinner at an amazing restaurant and pay for everything again, and you just think, goodness me, these guys are amazing, and you paid to be there as well. So, like, it couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. It's an absolutely amazing experience, and if you ever get an opportunity to pull with Knuckles Up, you have to take it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it in person. This will be my first time going.
It's so fun.
Yeah, if any organization's going to get it to Madison Square Garden, this sport, then it's gonna be Knuckles Up.
Well, I did notice at the last East versus West, there were some similarities in the setup to the Knuckles Up setup. I thought that was pretty interesting to see.
Well,
kind of
they're doing things
modeled
right, Knuckles Up, so
loosely.
it doesn't surprise me at all that people will emulate what they do. Their production guy,
Yeah,
I wish I could remember. Joe, is it?
Joe Sandel.
Yeah, okay, Joe.
Yeah,
he's amazing. Joe's. I think Joe's background is working in Broadway, so his production company produces Broadway shows, so he knows what he's doing.
I mean that's great that they're trying to emulate that, because that shows that you're doing something right. Like, they're
It's also better for the sport,
Yeah.
Let them emulate. It's good.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the net positive is all good when I know that there's always politics rearing its ugly head in the sport, and if we can get past politics and just let everyone who's investing do well, and let's not restrict anyone from opportunities, then it's amazing. What I don't like is when I see people try to excuse or ignore what I'll just call bad behavior because they think they're providing a good service on the overall situation. I mean, it's a husband providing a nice house and a nice car doesn't mean he can beat his wife. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta honor it. So I think that there's no need to tear down anyone. I think business is best when we just celebrate that the other buildings are being built nice and tall as well. I'm not someone who subscribes to the business of tearing others down. I'd much prefer to celebrate my competitors as well.
Yeah, and I think Knuckles Up, they're like setting a standard. So, which is cool, because now everyone else has to do better to meet that standard, which is great.
Exactly. And it drags everything up.
Yeah,
I love how professional they are too. Like even with their PR, they're so good.
I know.
So good.
I told Will that if he was a used car salesman, that I would buy a car from him. And then he made a specific video like, Ryan Grondin said I sound like a car salesman. So, and then he did this whole spiel. And I'm like, again, I would buy a car from you in a heartbeat. They're such nice guys, though.
They're good dudes.
Yeah.
Andre, how do you feel? You
Yeah,
agree?
for me it was the best promotion I have been. Definitely, they were like took care of us like we are kids. I mean, yeah, like Ryan told you, like we had every meal. They pick up from airports, they drop off us. You know, everything was very organized. The event. This one is gonna be even bigger because it's new venue. Last one venue was great, but this one it's even different level. So I'm excited, about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's cool. It's more like
So-
a theater setting, like with like theater seating, and it's pretty.
Yeah, it's like a theater, right? Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the
It's
best.
going to be amazing.
The best
My
promotion
son's coming
so
with me
far.
Oh,
for the
nice.
first time.
Very cool.
The Vanilla Gorilla.
Yeah, the Vanilla Gorilla.
Dude, I gotta get his autograph.
That's so cool. He'll really love that sort of experience because he's obviously watched my arm wrestling career as he's growing up, and he's into it himself, and he's going down the path of building himself a social media brand and all that sort of
Nice.
stuff, and for him to get a first impression of what I do at the table overseas to be Knuckles Up, I know he's going to walk away going, "Whoa, Dad, that was amazing." So, yeah, I couldn't be happier that he's coming.
How old is he?
He's 11.
With the sparks flying and stuff, when everyone comes out, he's gonna love it.
Yeah, I'll get him up
great.
there in my corner. He'll be in
Yeah,
my corner.
I'll be sure to go up and ask him for his autograph. See what he says.
He's his first experience with arm wrestling fame, and it kind of was Justin Bishop when Justin Bishop came to Australia in 2015. So this was back when WAL was still broadcast on ESPN, right? And we had that in Australia. So I used to watch the WAL live and all this kind of stuff. It was amazing. And Bradley and I used to sit down. So how old's Bradley now? So he would have 2015. He's only 3 years old, 2.5, 3 years old. But anyway, he's sitting there watching it with me, watched it with me. And I hadn't told him Justin was coming. Anyway, so I deliberately put on the Justin Bishop v Tony Katowski final that happened, and we sat down and watched that match, and then Justin knocks on the door, and Bradley's mind is just like, hang on, what the? This is the dude that we just watched on television.
That's awesome.
Now knocking on our door. So he's
cool.
he's had a fun experience with arm wrestling from the beginning.
Now, has he gone with you to any other promotions, King of the Table or anything like that?
Sorry, what was that?
Your son, has he gone with you to King of the Table or?
No, this is the first one. This is the first one.
Wow.
Outside of Australia, this is the first one.
Okay.
It's a good one to go to for your first.
And again, I got to thank Knuckles Up for that. Like Knuckles Up are doing that. Knuckles Up are bringing me and Bradley. Like,
Dude, that's
just to give you some perspective of how amazing that is. All the way from Australia that they're bringing my son to have such an experience. Think about like how significant that is for me, for Bradley. Like I wouldn't have been in a position to be able to bring him and afford to bring him in, and they're doing it. And so you go, wow,
They're scouting him way in advance. They got to get him to sign a contract before he gets too old and someone else.
Yeah, watch out. He might get banned by WAF already.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you guys worried at all about you catching flack for being on Knuckles Up? Are you concerned?
No. I feel like I'm immune to it. Or even if I'm not immune to it, I'm fine with being banned because I think it's ludicrous, and I believe that an athlete is in control of their own destiny more than any promoter. And even if you get banned by every single promotion there is, you can still keep your story going. So you got a YouTube channel and a camera, you can do it. So I'm not worried at all. I've been there and done that. I've been banned before by WAF for a year for competing in Zloty. I've been on the naughty list of other organizations before as well, for different reasons, and it's never stopped anything. So no, I'm not worried the slightest.
Are you
Like,
currently?
I'm not going to talk. That's and the thing that I try to reiterate with all that is like, there's no reason to ban me or anyone else. And if you do, I want it to be very clear that you're banning me for the most ludicrous reasons, because I'll speak highly of every organization. I'll support all of it. I'll do promotions for East vs West. I'll celebrate at a good performance at WAF and do a review of it. I'll like, I do all those things. No one, I don't care what organization. Arm wrestling's arm wrestling. If it's good arm wrestling, I'm a fan, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Shark, do you feel the same way about the
I mean, I think this is what like Engin wrote at his last message. The people who has been banned, it's who has the contracts, I guess. So I guess it's not gonna affect me, because I don't have contract with them yet. So
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, for now I think I'm fine. Later,
but it's far more than that, Andrei. Like Georgi Svetkov is being told that his entire club will be banned from WAF if he
no, this
participates.
is, I don't know. This is ridiculous.
that's crazy.
Stuff like that. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
That, and Engin made a post about how, Knucles Up is being sneaky by contacting the athletes directly. And I'm like, well, you would think the athletes would know if they're contracted or not. Like, you don't have to go to the promoter or to WAF to ask, because there's nowhere to look. Like, is there a list somewhere that says who's contracted and who's not? So you ask the athlete. Yeah, you ask the athlete, and you would think would know what's on their contract and whether they could pull there or not. And Georgie took the match, so you would assume he was correct in what he said, that he was only contracted righty and he could do it lefty. But then, I don't know.
The
Who
contracts
knows
you're
what
talking
happens
about,
from there?
that's actually from WAF. WAF has contracted athletes.
I guess East versus West. No.
I'm not sure. I think East vs West is the contract that they were referring to, but
for that specific one.
WAF
will honor bans from WADA if someone like tested dirty.
Right.
They can't pull anywhere.
Yes. And generally speaking, like I've generally speaking, all organizations will honor a WADA ban. No one, if you're WADA banned, you're not going to get a Knuckles Up match. You're not going to get an Arm Wars match. You're not going to get anything.
Right.
That's generally the case. But WAF reaches into its realm of power by threatening entire clubs, by threatening entire nations of pullers if individuals compete at an organization they don't like. And that is just absurd. Needs to be called out by everyone. It really does. And WAF turns a blind eye. Like, they will say on one hand that you can't participate in an event that has anything to do with an IFA person or anything to do with a drug user or anything, or doesn't test or anything. And then on the other hand, they'll say, oh, cool, look at this. You can all go and compete at the core sports and East vs West, and doesn't matter anything over there, that all the things that they just said about another organization, they don't apply to that. So that they have a double standard that they use to just wield their power and get what they want. And that's where it's like, come on, we can see it, that it's a double standard. Stop preaching that you're just about honoring WADA and you're just about the Olympic dream, you're just about the love of the sport. No, you're not. You're about giving yourself opportunity, taking it away from others. That's what the WAF mafia does.
Yeah, seems that way. Well, me making that comment about where are our heroes? Like, they started coming out of the woodwork after saying that. So hopefully that will spark something where some of these guys that are contracted might say, hey, some of this behavior, like, if you're from the United States and you're watching the who you're contracted to stomp on all the promotions in your country, that's kind of like, man, not cool. Like you would think they would speak up, but I don't even know if WAF would listen or East versus West or whatever. I guess it depends what caliber guy you are. Like if Devin spoke up or your Paul Lynns.
I don't think WAF would. I don't think WAF would even listen to Devin because WAF are so inherently deeply just linked to federations and governments of nations. That's where they get their money. So they don't get their money from YouTube revenue from people watching Devin.
Right.
So they all they care about is the actual political rules that they institute, and that's it. So the committee meetings at WAF are more important to them than any social opinion.
Yeah. I feel like it would be easier to swallow the bans if they were consistent. Like you can't, like some of the guys that technically should be banned can pull wherever they want, and then
yes,
some of the it's like very selective. Yeah,
that's the blatant thing is that they ban the ones that they want to ban and they don't ban the ones that are part of their brand.
Yeah.
That's the absurd part of it. And
if they were consistent with it, I think a lot of people would be more okay with it because it's like, all right, it's the same rules for everyone. But because it's not, that's the problem.
And more justified bans too. Banning an athlete for competing with in a federation that has a ref that's not certified with their standard, that is not a reason to ban an athlete.
Right.
Mikey, I saw them once threaten bans for getting photos with Denis Saplenkov.
Come on.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's terrible.
Like that's
or even it's moving. Like look at Paul Italia was gonna have a guest on, and the guest was told not to go on his podcast. I'm like, so now they can ban you from a podcast?
But that wasn't WAF, right?
I don't know. We don't know who actually made the call. Who knows?
Are you sure? We don't.
Yeah.
Well,
I promised I would not bring up eyebrows on the podcast.
Where do you guys see the future of all this with everything that's going on with the bans and now all the controversy? I mean, do you think it's going to make an impact and they'll regulate the banning a little more fairly, or are we in for an all-out revolution?
I think we're gonna get more contracts more and more, and we're kind of gonna get used to it, and it's gonna grow to this way. To people gonna sign more contracts in the future, like in other sports. I mean, and they're kind of gonna separate like leagues and athletes.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think Andrei's right that will happen, but and that's fine. That's not a bad thing for sport.
Yeah, it's
if
okay,
an organization
man.
grows,
Sure.
if an organization grows well enough that they can contract athletes and pay them well, then power to them.
See, that's the key is paying them well. And I'm curious, what would it take for someone to sign a contract? If we're talking 20 grand a year guaranteed, is that enough for someone to say, I will only compete exclusively with you? 20,000.
Some athletes it would be for sure. Some athletes that'd be that would be. Yeah.
They have less, I mean, and they still sign it.
Yeah.
It depends where they're on the ladder. In respect to their own hopes and dreams as well. Like if they think that their hopes and dreams are going to be fulfilled and they're financially secure in life, then they don't really care. What's more important to them is that they get put up on the stage. So that's a big factor. Prestige is a big factor, and that's where WAF and WAF has typically wielded that influence a lot as well, because the money you make in WAF is nothing. The money you're making in East versus West and those things is growing, which is fantastic. But look, Knucles Up pays just as much, if not more, in circumstances as well. Like they're on par. They really are on par from my experience. Absolutely, Knucles Up on par. Like I said, they're bringing Bradley from other side of the country. They're paying me to be there. If I beat Andrei, I get a bonus. Like all this kind of stuff. Like
cool.
So yeah, but contracts are good
Which bonus?
when they're done respectfully. What was that, mate?
Which bonus? It's a big
And,
one.
like,
We can share.
at the end of the day, I think that for some people, a $10,000 contract, a $20,000 contract is a huge success for them as an athlete in the sport. But I try to encourage athletes to recognize that they don't need to sign, and that you'll still get the invites. I'm proof of that. I'm proof that I've never signed a contract ever, and look where I get the pull.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and you're delusional.
And I'm delusional, and I still get the invites.
Yeah.
Like, and the meat and potatoes of that is that I just don't stop telling my story, and therefore I get people curious as to whether I'll win my next match.
Yeah.
And I get the invite because people are curious about my next. Will I make it or will I fail? Fair enough.
Even the
So
haters follow you
that.
just to see if you'll fail. You
Exactly.
know?
Exactly.
Which is brilliant, I think.
Yeah, I encourage athletes to try to get to that point where they realize that they are fully capable of controlling their own destiny in that respect. And you know, I have no contracts, and I get invites all the time, and I get paid the same as the people that are on the contract.
Yeah.
So
just to confirm that.
Would you sign a contract? Like,
No, not a chance. It'd have to be huge, Mikey. It'd have to be really big.
So we're talking like six
really
figures.
big for me to sign it.
6 figures or more. You would maybe consider being exclusive to a specific league. Or
different leagues would come with different leagues for me would have different prices.
Sure.
Because I prefer some leagues over others, but it would to take away my ability to have freedom to just do what I want to do is worth a lot to me, because I'm blessed enough in life that financially I'm secure.
Yeah.
So I don't need the money.
Yeah.
But I love arm wrestling, and one of the things I love about it is the fact that I can go and compete anywhere. So to take that away, it'd have to be like, well, all right, it's got to be something really significant.
I wonder how Will and Kris feel about it. I'd be curious to ask them if they would ever want to contract an athlete. I feel like they wouldn't. I don't think they'd want to stop opportunity. You know, let me pay you what I'll pay you. If you can get money from, you know, East First West, another organization, let the athlete eat at multiple tables. I don't think it hurts any organization doing that.
Send them the link. Let's ask them.
I think there's a natural evolution where you do end up contracting, not because you necessarily want to or feel it's right, but I do think that legally as a business entity, there is a line where you've invested so much into production of marketing an athlete that you don't want them to go and get injured at another event, and I'm completely okay with that. Like look at the way the WAL used to contract their athletes, and they used to tell their storytelling was amazing on a professional level. The way that they presented Matt Mask and Devin Larratt and people like that, Justin Bishop and all that, they looked like superstars. From the other side of the world, if you watched one of their episodes, you thought, wow, that dude's a badass. So I understand why when that degree of investment goes in, that you want to protect your asset as a contract would require, and I think that Knucles Up would do that if they get enough momentum. It makes sense to me to start offering that. As Andrei said, business grows, sport grows, the contracts will be there. That's fine. They're in every other sport as well, but just don't abuse contracts in the meantime is the main issue.
I could see that. They said they'll hop on in 5 minutes, so we'll get to ask them.
Dude, they're gonna be excited. Like if they could contract people, then they could ban people.
Oh, but that's the thing is, I'm really curious to see what they're going to say. I understand the business.
I don't think they're interested. I have a feeling
they would be either. I'm curious. I mean, yeah, I'm really curious to see what they think. Like I said, I understand the business aspect. Like Ryan said, you know, protecting your assets. You don't want them to get injured in other events. But I truly believe the people really do come first with Knucles Up. I don't believe
I agree.
comes first. It's important, obviously, it's a business. But I truly,
you know, I've put on some events with AWE where injuries have cost me money. Like I was going to pull Chance Shaw. Chance Shaw got injured 3 weeks. Not 3 weeks prior, he injured himself cost me $5,000 in travel that I lost. And it wasn't at another event; it was at a local tournament. But a contract would have prevented him from doing that. Perhaps he would have thought more seriously about, I shouldn't be pulling in another event when I've got a contracted responsibility coming up. So there's definitely purposes to contracts that protect you, because at the end of the day, trying to grow a business, trying to grow a promotion is difficult when you're having to absorb hits like that. And Knucles Up has absorbed a bunch of hits like that, a whole bunch of them. So, and that's what upsets me, is when those hits that I've seen go towards them come in the form of wielding threats to athletes.
That was the other thing I was curious too. I wanted to ask them. I wonder if they would ever require either via contract, or maybe they pay their travel and then they get reimbursed by showing up. You know, with this last match with Ursula, with them backing out the way they did. I mean, I think they threw the number around $7,000 is what they're out now. Yeah. And I wonder, again, would they look out for the business by contracting them if they don't make the event, signing here?
I think that's a great idea. You shouldn't, as an individual athlete, you shouldn't ever feel like you have a get out of jail free card where you can just walk away and make someone else wear the cost.
Yeah, especially with
I know that when the very first time I ever got booked with Knucles Up, I went out straight away and bought insurance for that travel specifically, and I made sure that in that insurance was, if I get injured prior to the date, that I'll get reimbursed. And I let them know that, and they were like, "Wow, we really appreciate that you go and buy insurance on that." Because because I like I said, when Chance got injured, it cost me $5,000, and I was like, okay. Yeah,
that's a smart move. How about you, Andrei? Would you ever sign a contract for something?
Yeah, I would sign, definitely. I mean, if some promotion like can guarantee me, like, I don't know, 2-3 matches per year, I would sign, definitely. Yeah.
Regardless of the organization? Like, let's say Knucles Up offered you a contract, you could no longer compete.
I would sign for a year. Why not? Yeah.
Try it out. Yeah.
I'm here in US, like, don't have to travel far. They give me money, gives me matches. Perfect. I mean,
you don't worry about losing opportunity at other.
mean, when the contract is done, so we can still, I guess, to talk with the other promotions. I don't think it's just, ban or forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a good athlete, I mean, that's the main part. I mean, so the other people, the other promotions should be like interesting, like on you, like.
Yeah. Well, luckily with these ridiculous bans, they can be unbanned apparently very easily. So it's like they don't even really matter anyway. Like one letter written to WAF and you're unbanned, or or however it works. It's so silly to even have that process in the first place. Like, well, how about we just unban everyone and skip to that part?
Yeah.
So Andrei, say they offered you $5,000 for a match, or they offered you $15,000, 3 matches guaranteed for the year. Would you prefer the contract, guaranteed 3 matches, or would you just want the 1 match and let me do whatever else I can?
No, at this point, I would choose 3 matches. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So opposite of Ryan, right? You said you're not taking a contract.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
I mean, a year it's too fast. I mean, it's
true. A year is not very long. That's true. Yeah. But a lot can happen in a year. You could miss out on some really good.
Listen, I mean, I would sign.
I love the freedom to travel. Like, I'm going after Knucles Up. I'm in India for a month.
Yeah, tell us about that.
And doing stuff like that. Like I'm so buzzed about being in India. They're watching that scene compete. They have so many competitors. It's ridiculous. Like their nationals,
Pro Panja League.
They have to cap their nationals. You have to qualify to get the nationals because they can only handle 2,000 competitors. It's crazy. And the scene over there is completely different. The highest paid sport in the world is Indian cricket. I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
It's the highest paid league in the world is the IPL, the Indian Professional Cricket League. Nowhere else comes close. And you go, okay.
Yeah.
And they don't even, no one watches it outside of India, like essentially. Yeah. And yet it's the highest paid. And you go, okay. Like, can I just tell you that the PPL last season, their finals was broadcast live to 43 million viewers.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Dude.
We
Gotta
talk
learn.
about 10,000 live viewers on pay-per-view with the sport as we're used to it in the Western parts of the world. They had 43 million watch theirs. Okay.
You better learn cricket while you're
I'm
there.
excited to get over there and just experience that. Like they're with the Sony Sports Network. They're with the highest level of production in India. They are crushing it over there. So I've been invited to be the official English commentary of that. So I get to commentate to friggin' tens of millions of people watching. Like it's crazy to me.
So you have to learn how to speak English.
I've been studying. I've been studying all the Indian arm wrestlers and the stories behind them all over the last few weeks, and I'm like, oh man, it's complex. I need this big list of names and dates, and I'm practicing.
You got to know how to pronounce them all.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like I leave my teeth in a jar beside my bed and things like that.
Hey, you did that good.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait. Say again?
You did that good.
No,
Sounded
that was
very fluid.
that was a joke from there was a guy called oh, what was his name? There's a comedian, an Australian comedian who followed cricket back in the day in the 90s, and he used to have all these spin-offs of Indian names that were hilarious in the way he'd commentate. That was one of them. I leave my teeth in a jar beside my bed.
You gotta learn
But
cricket.
anyway, I'm so excited. So freedom to travel is so important to me. Contracts. If a contract would kill an opportunity like that, I'd be like, there's no way I'm like because the contracts seem to go into just even affiliating. It's not you can't even show up and support. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I hate it. I hate that side of it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it. I've literally seen contracted athletes under East vs West and WAF be pressured out of not even attending and being seen to support. Like it's not even about competing.
Yeah, and that I would assume that's not in their contract, right?
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't say like you can't go to.
That's just pressure.
Yeah,
that's just mafia stuff.
That's ridiculous.
You know, we went to Arizona State's. Tim Talmadge puts that on, and I asked him. I was like, "Hey, doesn't John Brzenk live really close to here? Why is he not at this?"
Yeah.
He was not allowed
to.
He was not allowed to go to a tournament in his hometown.
Dude.
Yeah.
And he's John Brzenk.
John.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, why not? He can't make an appearance. He can't just, I don't understand.
Dude, you see him in the background with a wig on and just like in the crowd.
If I was ever presented a contract, like these are all the things I would be having very, very, very clear discussions about these things.
Yeah.
Not just about pay and number of matches. It'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll commit for a year because the number's good, but here's the other things that you have to be okay with because I will be continuing to travel and support publicly other organizations as well.
Okay, what if just
But why then have to invest money on you if you're gonna promote other people? I mean, they kind of pay.
That's the negotiation. They don't have to, and we can tear the contract up. But my conditions would be that if you want me to compete, I'll compete, and I'll give you my full attention, and I'll promote your event completely. But I will also support other events. And like, if they're not okay, they're not okay. That's cool. We walk away.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. That's clear.
Yeah. Here they come.
Oh, look at that, Andre.
I feel like I talk to these guys every day now.
All right.
What's up, Will?
What's up? How's it going?
We were hoping you'd come on and pitch
Oh,
us like a new car sale.
Oh, geez, are you guys still live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah.
Oh man. Good thing I'm not, indecent.
Hello, Will.
Yeah.
How's it going, Andre? How you feeling?
Going good, thank you.
Good.
He was telling me he was real nervous.
I highly doubt it.
Kris is so excited he's coming on twice.
Wow. Fantastic.
So
So what's the question you guys had?
Ooh.
you want to wait?
Is it a juicy one?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. You're gonna have to settle a debate.
controversial.
We don't want to speak for you, but we're
Yeah.
curious on which way you feel about this.
Oh boy, oh boy. Did Kris join on, by the way? He was, yeah,
There
we
he
go.
is. There he
There he
is.
is.
What's up, fellas?
Those
What's
guys,
up,
hold
man?
on.
Oh, he's
man.
green. Nice. He's green screening. Very good.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. We were watching.
We were kind of just discussing contracts and whether or not we agreed with them, didn't agree with them. And we're kind of torn on how you guys would feel about it. Do you think Knuckles Up would ever offer a contract with the stipulation of exclusivity to only Knuckles Up productions?
Great question. We've actually discussed this many times. Kris, if you don't mind, I'll just take this one.
Yeah, of course.
Very simple. So we have contemplated doing contracts in the past, and we probably will eventually. But in those said contracts, it would not be exclusive. We look at it as you would be a Knuckles Up athlete. So we would want this to be your home. And when you go out to other organizations, such as East vs. West, King of the Table, whatever it may be, you would just obviously represent us in the best light that you can, but we would never stop you from competing other places. So it's more of a just remember where home is, but we would never tell you, no, you can't compete somewhere this way or that way. It would almost be like, hey, here's our schedule for the year. We'd like to prioritize you in X, Y, and Z matches. So schedule accordingly. But we're very much against you can only pull here and you can't pull anywhere else.
So what would be
Yeah.
the benefit then for Knuckles Up having them contracted?
Yeah.
Well,
So
go ahead, Kris. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the way that we look at it, and that's a fair question, right? Is yes, there's an advantage that if we had them exclusive to us, you'd be the only, like, you'd have to come to us to pull Levon, for example, right? But I think that also kind of limits, we're not in the world of professional sports where we could give somebody millions of dollars and they wouldn't need to go anywhere else. So we don't want to offer something that's not realistic, right? It's like, hey, we know there's so much more money on the table, and it also gives us an opportunity to say, like, okay, cool, this guy just won at East versus West or King of the Table or what have you, but then he's going to come back to Knuckles Up because he's our champion or what have you to kind of defend his title. So it kind of gives us like both sides of the coin. They can continue to promote our brand and show how good of an athlete they are, as well as get more opportunities for them.
Nice. How soon do you think we can look forward to seeing contracted out?
let's get through this next event and then we'll see what happens. I think we have to worry less about contracts for us and we got to worry about other people's contracts right now. That's the way things are going on.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to figure out who we can contract.
The Vanilla Gorilla is ready to sign a contract. He tells me.
Nice.
Really?
I can't believe that you guys contact the athletes themselves. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And just to obviously everybody, and hey, everybody that's live, what's happening? Everybody knows kind of what's happening in the community and everything. And our stance is very simple. Just first, like, thank you guys for the support. We truly appreciate it. And we are seeing it on our end, which is super cool. Like people like the 98%, Paul Italia, and just this entire arm wrestling community. Like they've been sending us messages and buying our pay-per-view and buying in-person tickets, and it means a lot. But when it comes to that, what you said, reaching out to athletes, like, I still think it's the most appropriate way to go because as an athlete, you know what your contract is and everything like that. I brought this up, I think, on another podcast. Just because LeBron is contracted on his team doesn't mean other teams don't say, hey, when you're a free agent, we want you, or hey, when you're this, we want to do that, or hey, let's collaborate or whatever. It'd be different if an athlete, like, let's just say, Andrei, you were like, oh, by the way, all my dealings go through my manager, right? Okay, well then we would just then go to your manager, right? But let's be real, like, I'm pretty sure 99.9% of athletes in arm wrestling don't have managers and stuff like that. So we just thought it was the right avenue to go. I mean, I'll flip it back on you. Andrei, Bowen, you guys are athletes. Mikey, Ryan, you guys are promoters. Do you think it's the correct avenue to reach the athlete?
Yeah,
I think absolutely.
They should know their own contract.
I agree.
I don't think you should have to contact like I don't know, either Engen or WAF or whoever to be like, hey, like, how do you even know they're contracted with them?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no list of contracts out there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you find out from asking the person themselves, and then they tell you whether they're contracted.
yeah.
It's weird.
I think that that was just like a very little weird side attempt to just derail the bigger issues that were going on. I don't feel like it's a moot point. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think the biggest issue is the double standards in the way that contracts have been wielded, and under certain circumstances totally not a problem, and in other circumstances all of a sudden once an organization appears or seems like they're becoming a competitor or a threat, then all of a sudden we start seeing it used in a different fashion, and that's what bothers me. And I used the analogy before. I said it, and I'll say it again with you guys here. Just because a husband provides a nice house and a nice car doesn't mean he gets to beat up his wife and children. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we can't just say, oh yes, we're doing a great job for the sport, so let's be excused to really push people around. So that's what I don't like. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we would love to. I think Kris had just mentioned, right? If we were dealing with, here's $1 million contract for the next 2 years. Yeah, okay, I get it, right? Like that would be absolutely incredible, right? And why would you want to pull anywhere else when someone's paying you that kind of money? But with countries, like Brazil and Bulgaria and places where their economic status isn't where the United States is, let's say, an extra couple $1,000s can really make a difference in these people's and these athletes' lives. So why rob them of that opportunity?
Well, it's not just robbing them of the opportunity; it's doing maximum damage to you guys as well. And I think that's one of the things that isn't spoken about, is that it seems pretty clear from the outset to me that there's actually an intent to do damage. It's like matches that have been public for months, talked about for months, to then just strategically 2 weeks out from D-Day just to say, sorry guys, pull the pin on you. There's timing that's deliberate there, and whether they'll admit that or not, it's pretty clear to see it to me. And when they then on the other side of the coin allow other athletes, like they have two sets of rules. They'll say if you're affiliated at all with IFA, if you're affiliated at all with someone that's been water banned, then it's a big no. You'll get banned. Yet on the other side of the coin, they will allow people that are IFA related, like Michael Todd pulled in the IFA. Look, and he's a superstar within East West West and all those organizations, because hey, it benefits them. And so they will, when it benefits them, that they don't care. When it benefits a competitor, all of a sudden it's the worst thing in the world, and they'll pull the plug on them. So to me, there's a blatant double standard.
Kamil Jablonski is another good
yeah. Even me, they didn't care about me pulling.
Oh, Ryan, you're just you're tarnished goods at this point. You're just
enemy of the sport #1.
Yeah.
No, but on a completely separate note, just because now that you guys are in one room together, Andrei, I don't know what this guy is doing, but he's eating like 20 pounds of steak a day. Now he's carbing up. I don't know what's Andrei,
I'm still losing weight.
Like 275 when you get there, please.
How much?
Dude, I jumped on the scales this morning. I was 90.5 kilos. It won't
crazy.
stop falling off me. But look at that, Will.
I need a magnifying glass. I can't see it.
I don't know.
How big and that I can see. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
That's crazy.
Geez. I love it. Andrei, what do you think you'll be weighing roughly?
What would I
What do you think you'll be weighing?
weight? Like that's the same, like 235. Yeah.
Gotcha. So 285. Got it. 285. Nice. And
Yeah.
Ryan, like 185? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, probably.
I'm 198 right now. So look. It's so strange. I am eating as much as I can. It just
No, it's
keeps
time
getting
eating.
lighter. It just keeps getting lighter.
You're
No,
losing.
Andre's
Eating right now.
He needs food.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you guys taking bets on this match?
But
Ooh.
but all I know, Will, is that I feel that the coolest benefit of all of this physiologically that I just am excited about is how fast I feel. Like,
Good,
I haven't
good.
been this light in a long time, and that's a component of my game that I am excited about taking out for a spin, because I haven't been fast like this in a long
But
time.
it doesn't work like this. Remember what, like Devon said, he went all in to Levan, right? And he wasn't healthy, but he was strong. Now he's healthy, but he's not strong as he was. So what do you think?
Well, I think Devon's like an old twisted tree root. He's not fast. He's got a different characteristic about him, where I started off as a fast kind of guy. When I was a lightweight, when I first started arm wrestling, like that was it. And as I got bigger and stronger, that all disappeared. And all of a sudden I feel fast again. So I don't know. I'm training tonight, shadow boxing with Lachlan Adair, just doing some starts. And I might send you a little bit of a footage of how fast I can be, just to scare you.
Let's do send.
So the real question is Andre, is he going to have to just rely on a flop wrist press at this point? Like, I mean, Ryan's going to be.
Oh, there's no way my wrist is going back. We got the wrong. You're talking to the wrong dude about wrists going back. If there's anyone who's flopping, it's Andre. Andre's going to try to flop through my king.
No, my wrist
I
is
love
very
it.
strong right now. My wrist is very strong right now.
I don't think. Look. No one's flopping at center. That's for sure. No one's flopping at center.
Though,
but
Andre
will decide to flop. Like he will let his wrist go out of panic of bleeding out everything else.
Andre gave us very much thankful Arm Shark as a sponsor. So you might need to take one of those wrist wrenches home and do a little homework, Ryan. I'm just saying. It's going to be in your bag. He could sign it for you too. I heard he would. Yeah,
for sure.
Like it.
Oh, see, there you go. He said for sure. Andre will sign it personally to my love, Ryan Bowen. There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so close too now. I'm ready. Mentally, I'm the excitement is starting to really build now. I realize that
mentally,
I can say
it's not physically.
I'm on a plane next week. Like this time next week, I'm in the air. So, yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Mentally, not physically. Ouch, man. This, to be honest, and I don't know what Mikey and Ryan think, but like in all seriousness, this is one of the most hyped up matches on the entire card. I mean, I'm excited about all of them, but because of, I think, Andre, you're on this big tear and you're winning and winning and winning, and Ryan, you're this wild card, especially with this weight transformation. And like, I saw the one arm pull up, you're looking strong, blah, blah, blah. People are just like, who is gonna, like, is Andre gonna come
Andre can't do a one arm pull up. Andre can't do a one arm pull up. I said Andre can't do a one arm pull up.
When I was 200 pounds, I did like 3.
3?
Yeah. 200.
Ryan's gonna go do 4 after this.
Like this.
Oh man. All right, so here's a challenge for both of you. Both of you do 3 one-arm pull-ups. We'll see which one is better. And then don't train anymore because we have a match in less than 2 weeks.
Now I probably gonna torn my biceps if I try.
No, don't do that. Let's forget that.
Will, imagine if they did, and you're the one who suggested it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You just ruined your own event.
That would be
Does that void the contract?
Yeah, exactly.
Like we were following directions from the contract.
Oh my God. We feel actually very bad because, so obviously, as everybody who's watching knows, like there's a lot of moving parts with this, and we've had marketing material ordered for weeks, and our jerseys have been ordered, blah, blah. And Ryan reached out, and he's like, guys, can I get a smaller jersey? And it just won't get developed in time and made in time. So Andre might be swimming. I mean, sorry, Ryan might be swimming in a jersey right now.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
ordered an
just,
XL, and I think
XLs?
I used to always be XLs, but now
now
now an
XS.
XL's a comfy fit.
just
This
tie
is
a
a
knot.
large.
Tie a
Just so
knot
you
in the
know,
side of
Andre,
it.
he did ask for a medium, a small medium. I'm just saying.
Medium. Oh no.
Medium.
You're not supposed to let these secrets out, Will. You're supposed to
I'm
say,
sorry.
Ryan
I'm
asked for
just
a
stirring
double
the pot,
XL.
Ryan. I'm just stirring the pot.
I do look bigger now that I'm lighter. Like that's like on camera, I look bigger than I did 12 weeks ago. I really do.
No, for sure. Yeah. The
More
more you get
definition.
cut up, you're gonna look bigger. But
Give him
yeah.
that XL shirt and just
You
tie it in a
experience,
knot
man.
on the side so it's like a half shirt.
If it's egregious, what we could do is maybe we'll make it a crop top.
Yeah,
And then we'll tie it in the back with a hair tie like the girls do, and then you could show your like pseudo six pack.
Give him that Uncle John.
Yeah, I'm still not ready for that. Like I still think even with Andre eating and being 235 pounds, he's still got a better six pack than me.
You want
Look, so he's willing to do
Oh,
it.
Jesus.
Jesus
There
Christ.
goes,
I'm
there
not
goes the
willing to do
views.
this.
Ryan, you're up.
The view. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Ryan, just don't even try it, Bowen. Just leave it down.
The light, the reflective white would just blind you all. Like,
Oh man.
There's no weight cap on your guys' match, right? It's open.
Yeah.
he can be as big as he needs to be to make himself feel comfortable and confident, but that's all right. The average weight of my last opponent is 125 for my last 6 guys, so he's a lightweight in my eyes.
Are we still doing a weigh-in for them? Or we get to know what the weight is?
Yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
do a weigh-in.
Yeah.
We wanna emphasize it.
We're still gonna definitely do a weigh-in. I'll make sure I step on Ryan's scale so it bumps him up a little bit.
it's good to know the weight. So that
but
you lose,
you know,
it's
like
an
this new
excuse.
chapter, I've gotten rid of the beard, I've gotten rid of the mustache. Like when I had a fat face, I needed facial hair to look like a normal human. Like it looked terrible. There was one occasion where I shaved my face when I was over 100 kilos, and I was like, oh my goodness, never again. But now that I'm a bit leaner, I'm like, oh, I actually don't mind it. So I feel like a completely new dude coming into this match.
You look better. You look
in
better.
a lot of ways. So
Got to grow it out to weight.
But you lost
the
your
jawline
mustache
again.
of hope. Like I wrote you. You lost your mustache of hope.
The mustache.
Oh man, no, it's gonna be good.
Mustache.
We're excited. I'm excited. I think Vanilla Gorilla is gonna beat both of you though.
So I'm getting his autograph. I'm definitely getting his autograph.
We need to hit up Jake and see if he can make him a custom card in time. That's what we need.
Dude. I'll pull him in a super match.
He'll probably beat you.
Probably lose though.
No, but yeah,
Hey guys,
that was a
I'm
great.
gonna have to run. I've really enjoyed being on it. This has been awesome. Andre, I'll see you soon. Mikey, thanks for having me on. Ryan,
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Will,
Yep.
legends,
Pleasure, brother.
legends.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, though, Andre.
Stay healthy, Ryan. Come on.
It's
We'll
feeling so good. It's
just
feeling
get
so
off so we
good.
can talk bad things about you. It's okay. We'll see you later.
All right, see you guys.
Take it
So,
easy.
yeah.
I forgot what podcast it is. I almost said FTG.
Oh, jeez. All right, Andre. Now that he's gone, is it going to be a 3-0?
Yes. Of course.
Oh, I'm excited. I think it's going to be.
Ryan, no chance.
Now, let me ask you this, right? Because we know, like, obviously, you're a top roller, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right? You like to top roll normally?
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I guess the reason why I'm
It's
asking
like I don't know if I'm not like 100% top roll. I kind of maybe I don't know how it's called high hook top roll.
is
Yeah.
okay. So
I don't
now,
know.
knowing Ryan, right? He's most likely not going to be able to hold you at center.
Right.
So he's going to probably, I'm assuming, rely on the King's move and probably slip and try to slip and get into the straps. If he walks up to the table and says, Andre, do you want to go into the straps? Would you say yes or would you tell him no?
No, I want to try. I believe I can. I want to try like my first movement with no strap first, and then we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes first round. Maybe
Sure.
second we go directly to strap. But the first one I want to try, you know.
Very interesting. And how is it, by the way, how's your left feeling?
Left pretty good, yeah. The same as strong as right. Little like some exercises, little like less weights, but still decent, yeah.
That's good because, you know, this card is very interesting, right? We have so many guys. So I should have mentioned this because Ryan, you brought up, like, is there any bets? We were thinking this could get really interesting if some of these secret matches, you guys wanted to throw some of your own money in there and bet against each other. It could get kind of interesting. If, you know, maybe you want to pull
You need
Clement.
a legit bookie to be at all these events.
Oh, yeah. It'd be cool. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But I'm planning actually to go to next weekend to left hand competition.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Nice. Very good. Just don't,
Here in
please
Aries,
don't grab the
yeah.
don't grab the peg too hard on the right arm. Just leave it.
Yeah. But it's local, it's small, supposed to be easy.
Oh, okay, good. Guys, I do have to hop off, but thank you guys so much. Great question, Andrei.
All right. Yeah,
He's got cars to sell.
Yeah.
Catch you later, guys.
All right, I have to leave, guys. Also,
Absolutely.
thank
You
you
guys
so
later.
much.
Thanks again, guys. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming on.
Bye.
See ya.
Well, that
All
was
right,
easy.
Ryan, Mike.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah,
We'll see you. We'll see you
thank
next. We'll see you there.
All right, sounds good. Good night, guys. Bye.
Well, that went well.
Yeah. Went from one guest.
It's cool that more people jumped in, dude. You know, like,
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm most excited about that match, I think, out of the entire
Yeah.
card.
Give me 1 sec. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog was like waiting to go out. But yeah, that was cool that they jumped on, and it was cool to get the opinions about contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat.
I think it's cool that Knucles Up would do contracts, but the way I'm envisioning their contracts is more of a guarantee of matches and less of control.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Yeah,
gonna
like not banning them from other things. I mean, that's cool. That's cool on their
Right.
part to not be like the tyrants that we're having issues with.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
I agree.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. But you know, Ryan Bowen's one of those guys that he doesn't have to worry about that stuff. Like he can make his own matches and he can, you know, but not everyone has that ability.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys from the other countries, they don't have like a social media following, and like, you know, they come over here and like half of them were like, well, who's that? You know, like, so, you know, I could see how, you know, they have to kind of follow WAS rules, but when you start threatening to ban the whole team, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the whole team's not under contract.
I agree.
That's like, you know, if no one else on that team is under contract, like how can you even say, you know what I mean? Like now you're putting it on poor Georgie. Like if you come, your team is screwed.
Yeah.
So he has to just make that decision. Like, oh, I can't screw my whole team.
Right.
It's not like they're making it that it's not even about him. Like he can't even make the choice to be like, screw you, I'm doing it anyway, because he's going to screw over all his friends. That's terrible business, you know?
Yeah.
It's all right. We're standing up against tyranny.
Yeah, I love it.
Revolution is coming.
I'm curious to see where this goes.
Dude, honestly, I feel like this all going so public is making other promoters in the United States start to band together, and they're getting sick of it. And I think some things are going to happen. I think there's going to be some things, some new ideas floating around, because we're all ridiculously sick of this.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Wonder if there's going to be like a boycott.
Damn the man. You know, out there picketing with signs, like with eyebrows.
I meant more of a boycott in the sense of East versus West numbers going down.
Well, dude, on Reddit,
you know,
some of the stuff I posted on Reddit and other posts I saw that were about this whole thing, a lot of people were like, you know what? I'm so sick of this behavior. I'm not getting the pay-per-view anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like stuff like that can spread.
A fan of arm wrestling I love the matches, that East versus West puts out. It sucks to be in a position to where you have to stand up for what's right and miss out on some of these really great matches in doing so.
Well, I mean, they come out the next day.
It's-
You know what I'm saying?
so,
I mean, it sucks. Here's my thing though, is like when you start stomping on American promotions and you're pissing off everyone here in America, like we're the majority of the people that get the pay-per-view. And now you're pissing off your fan base. You know what I mean? Like after that argument with Engen, I was like, dude, I don't even want to get East versus West anymore because you're being a jerk, But if he was cool and he didn't do that kind of stuff, everybody would get it.
I agree.
And it's like, man, he needs a PR guy to like keep him off the fucking social media and saying all these weird things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna trim the eyebrow.
Yeah, I've said that for a long time. Not about the eyebrow, about the PR aspect.
Yeah.
Phenomenal matchmaker, but the PR side of things, higher.
Dude, if he had someone like doing his PR, like say like Paul Lynn that everyone likes,
Yeah,
he'd have no problems. East versus West would be huge. Everybody would love it. Get WAF to stop banning all these athletes from other events. And like, I mean, it just makes no sense to me because if you have like say Georgie, he goes to Knuckles Up. Now he's building an American fan base because everyone here starts to love him. Then he goes to East versus West. Now more of us are watching because we're like, oh, I met Georgie at Knuckles Up.
Yep, I agree.
It's like a business decision, and they're fucking it up big time.
I agree. And arm wrestling as a whole, the more popular it becomes, the more
It grows.
Exactly. Yeah. More views you're going to get at every event. Absolutely.
It's more views for everyone.
Yep.
Like to me, it's just so ridiculous and obvious what they're doing. I don't know, dude. I don't get it. I don't get the thought process behind it. Like, what do they gain from doing that? They're just getting so much hate on the internet now.
I agree. Especially going after a production like Knuckles Up. I've never heard not one person say anything bad about their production from any aspect, from a viewer's aspect, from an athlete's aspect.
Yeah.
They're killing
They're both like sweethearts.
Right.
Nice fellas, honest.
Yeah.
They care about the sport. They care about the athletes. Why would you choose that promotion? Like, why would you choose them to attack? Like, there's other promotions, like,
right.
I mean, I had my words with Engen, but they can't really attack us because we just do tournaments. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
You can't really, no one's going to get banned from Winter Blast. But they did message people. Simon did message some people telling them not to go to Winter Blast. So I'm like, dude, why would you do that? Like,
yeah, what's the context? Why would they not be allowed to go to Winter Blast? Is it your referees? Is that why? Is they're trying to claim?
They're like, oh, if you pull there, you won't be able to come. Because in the WAF rules, Simon sent me the WAF rules. It doesn't say specifically IFA. It says any opposing like promotion that is arm wrestling. So it's like the whole sport. If you're not WAF, it doesn't even matter whether you have IFA refs or not. Like if you're not, and now they just passed a rule where you have to be sanctioned to even. It doesn't like they made a new rule. Like everyone needs to be sanctioned and get permission to have someone from WAF pull at their event. Yeah. So like, what's that process like? We don't even know yet.
And even saying, if you're at any opposing organization, so that implies that you're not with them. You're against them.
Yeah, you're an enemy.
We can't coexist.
That's ridiculous.
That's
what I mean. They're trying to monopolize the sport. And in history, when people do that in America, there's a fucking revolution.
Yeah.
And I think that is coming. Every day that this goes on, I think it's getting closer to something like that going down.
Yeah. I mean, I think the people are going to speak. I see Matt in the comments just mentioned he thinks that this will probably be one of the highest watched Knuckles Up events. And I agree. I think people are that, you've got cheap people that don't want to pay what is it, $15 to watch the view. I think they might make the exception this time to make a statement, say, hey, we're going to support these people.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I think you're going to see less pay-per-views for other organizations that are, enforcing these bans and hurting our sport. People are going to stand up to it.
Yeah, I think so, dude. I think it's going to start. I mean, just looking at Reddit, like some of the posts, like when Engen did that, like, I'm sorry, this, that, and everyone was like, are you kidding me? Like, that is just so like narcissistic.
Yeah.
It's a bad look, you
Yeah.
know?
You're talking about, was that the sorry to Sarah Ray?
No, he wrote a whole freaking thing. Like, he took it down like not long after, so that's why he probably didn't see it. But it was like, I'm sorry that I have the biggest promotion in the entire world, and I'm sorry East versus West is the best promotion in the entire. Like, it was like very passive
You
aggressive.
remember he did it with Sarah Ray. He did the whole.
Yeah, he did the same thing. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
It was
I
very similar.
class. I'm sorry, Nisa.
Yeah,
My athlete Nisa beat you. All that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the exact kind of post he did, and someone luckily got it and put it on Reddit before it got deleted, and Reddit blew up about it. And they were like, oh my God, dude, this guy, like, everyone's just sick of that, you know?
Such a shame too.
And
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe when everyone's saying like Engen has nothing to do with the bands, because I feel like WAF's not paying attention to a lot of the stuff that goes on over here. It's being purposely brought to their attention.
Yeah.
At specific times. And let's be honest, there are texts out there to prove it. You know, but no one's going to be that douchebag that released the text. So there is proof. It's just, you know,
Yeah.
if you're messaging people and saying, hey, you might want to check with WAF before pulling there 2 weeks out before a thing, and then they contact WAF and they already know about it and are like, you're banned. That was a planned fucking thing. Like, that person talked to WAF and then contacted the athlete to make it look like they were asking them to check with them. But why would you do that 2 weeks out and not 3 months ago when it was released?
Yeah.
So it's just some weird stuff like that. That's just ridiculous, dude. But yeah, we'll see what happens, dude. I can't wait to see you at Knucles Up, man.
Yeah. I'm
Hang
excited.
out, get some
Oh,
parm crusted steaks.
Well, I guess so. There's an official athlete dinner, or are
Yeah, it's after. Yeah,
Are we invited to that, or I mean,
I don't know. Oh, we should have asked Kris and Mike when they're. I mean, Kris and Will when they were on here.
get them back on.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some big news too. I don't know if I'm allowed to publicly announce this. I might get in trouble later, but we purchased a second ticket. Sarah's, yeah, Sarah's,
yeah. Don't.
I know, I know.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Sarah will be there too. So maybe
That's
that's
cool.
into the athlete dinner.
I want to get her in the after pool, dude.
Yeah. Ooh.
No, I have no chance.
No, yeah, no, you don't.
0 chance.
Yeah, she's getting super strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction.
But I mean, you want to keep up your losing streak, so
Yeah. And you know what? It's good footage if they see me losing to her.
yeah.
Like, man, he really is trying to keep that worst arm wrestler. You're gonna do some after pulling there?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna let everybody know how bad I am.
Yeah. I jump in now and then, you know. Depends who it is.
So when does the after pull happen? It's after the super match.
Right after the event, yeah.
An after pull, and then
They're going to do it at the same location. Last time they did it at the restaurant. This time they're doing it at the venue right after.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be fun.
I know. I'm so amped too now about this whole the Shark and Bowen match. I'm so on the fence now. I mean, Shark is a fucking monster, man.
He's literally eating during the podcast. Like,
I know.
He's getting bigger.
Yeah.
And Ryan's losing weight.
40-pound difference, 198, 237.
There's still a few weeks left, and Ryan's losing weight.
They continue to lose
so
weight.
It's like, weight sometimes does make a big difference.
It does. So 40 pounds. That's like two classes. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Ryan better be fast. Like, he has to be fast.
Yeah.
He has no choice. He's gonna have to like somehow bleed him. You know, like play around in the setup if they give him 30 seconds or whatever.
Ryan's a very technical arm wrestler, and it sounds like
he's smart
and locked in, you know, with literally what you just said, wearing him out with that King's move. What was it? Three fouls, so he can, and 2 warnings per foul.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's definitely going to play that to his advantage, and gas.
He's smart. That's the thing with Ryan; you can never count him out because you just never know.
He's super.
Sometimes he pulls it out when he's already down, and you're like, "Oh, he's done," and then all of a sudden he wins, and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
man, I should have stuck with my gut feeling. Yeah. But Shark is an animal, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how he handles that.
Yeah. I think officially he's our the US's 220-pound #1 guy, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
That's
If not second, he's right there.
Yeah.
But I think he is #1.
Yeah. I mean, if
He's
you go
got to
by
be #1 in Florida, right?
the Rays last round robin, that
He's
was
#1 in Florida either way, right?
yeah. Yeah. It's funny you say that too, because when I started this journey of arm wrestling at the beginning of this year, I wanted to set what I felt was a realistic, attainable goal. And I was like, maybe I'll shoot for the best 220 in Florida. And I quickly found out that the best 220 in Florida is also the best 220 in the United States. So
So
yeah,
you're like, I'll
yeah.
never get there now with fucking him there.
Yeah.
You know what? You got to get him to move, dude.
Oh, see, I was going to move, but maybe you're
Oh,
right.
there you go. Like, just cross the line into like Georgia.
Rhode Island, right? That's a little tiny place. That can't be.
I don't even think there's any arm wrestlers there, dude. Maybe
So
one.
by default, I can.
You're like the champion of Rhode. We'll throw a Rhode Island State Championship, and you're the only one that shows up. You just get like 30 trophies.
Don't tempt me.
For real. I might have to do that, dude. That's a brilliant idea. Like,
Well, you want to co-promote one in
I
Rhode Island?
won my first tournament, and no one showed up but me.
I love it.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be fun though. I also can't wait till you guys come to Winter Blast to see.
Yes, yeah. I
Winter
can't
Blast
wait.
is a different animal. you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know what I haven't decided yet. Like, do I want to compete at Winter Blast? Do I just want to soak in the whole thing? Like, I don't know. Yeah,
Jump in, dude. Who cares? Give it a whirl.
Nice.
Because dude, it's a long day, so that might break up the day for you a little.
That's true. That's a good point. I
You know.
wonder what Sarah's going to do too if she'll jump into the competition.
Well, I know all those monsters from Canada.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When we talked about her possibly coming, they're like, "Oh, I'm coming."
Nice.
So
She's talking like Heidi, Sarah Wilson, Jocelyn.
Sarah Wilson, Jocelyn, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
We should
because
get-
Jocelyn came last year and she fucking cleaned house, dude.
Yeah, we need to get them on a podcast.
Yeah, and Sarah Ray came, and so did Elizabeth Mosek. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. So there'll be some people there, and they pulled like every weight class.
Nice.
So yeah, soon as this tournament's over, I'll start really working on Winter Blast. I got to start securing sponsors and doing. You know how it is, dude. It's like every day. It's just we've had so many tournaments lately and things going on. It's like,
I know.
I'm always working on Winter Blast in the background, but then I got to also work on the stuff that's coming quicker.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Well, hey, that was a good episode.
Yeah, it was fun. That was good.
What's next? Passmore and or Robbie Russell or
Yeah, we got Passmore. Maybe we get them both on the same time.
yeah, that'd be cool.
I like that.
Devin wants to come on Friday.
Oh, is that what he said? Is Friday? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know that could be interesting.
I feel like that should almost be its own show in itself. But
Troll him the whole time. No, but it's cool that he reached out and left me that message.
it just dawned on me. You are publicly announcing that Devin is going to be on. Are you?
Yeah, well,
You might
okay,
want to.
he might be on.
You might want
might
to password that one then, and not just allow anybody to jump in.
Well, I mean, I don't have to allow them on. Like, people can't just get right in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Permission.
I have to put them in.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
They
get
can
ready.
attempt to join.
Get ready, man.
But I don't have to put the link out either. Sometimes I put out the link public.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
When
But I want to get Will and Kris on too at the same time, so that if some
Nice.
topics come up, we can get down to the truth of it on that side, like we kind of did with Paul Lynn.
Yeah.
So let's find out what is going on behind the scenes.
I love it.
Does Devin have any say? Like, does he have any pull with these people? We don't know. We'll find out.
I've heard rumor Devin's part owner. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I've heard that too, but I don't know. Like, is that something he'd want to answer? I don't know.
Yeah. I'll tell you too. I mean, from what I've experienced with Devin, I expect him to do the right thing. As crazy as that sounds, I expect him to honestly do the right thing, and he will go against the grain if if that's what it takes.
Well, that's kind of why I named and mentioned him and Paul in, because I view those guys as guys that have integrity, and I'm like, you guys see what's going on here. Like, can you talk some sense into what the people that are doing these things?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. But like Paul Lynn, he didn't really know that much about what was going on behind the scenes. So, they might not be privy to that information, or they might not know that Engin's texting people or, whoever. But if we make them aware of it, then now they know. So what are you going to do? But I think something is brewing in America, dude. I think what these guys did is they awakened a sleeping giant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Revolution.
I always think of Terminator. What is it? The Resistance?
Yeah. That's what it feels like, though.
It does.
I'm
curious to see where this ends. I'm really curious to see where it goes. Is change going to happen? Is this divide going to, in the end, bring everything together?
I mean, it could be good and bad in a way. Like, bad about the bans and all that stuff, but it could be good in uniting America and making arm wrestling better here. Like WAF and all that. Like, obviously, arm wrestling is bigger in every other country, but this might unite America and make arm wrestling grow here like crazy, with all of us kind of uniting to say we're not cool with the bans. A lot of good networking going on. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll see everyone on the next episode. Next week?
Yeah. Do we have a date for Passmore?
I'll reach out to those guys and see what day is good for them next week, and we'll plan it and we'll announce it.
That's cool. I like
Sound
it.
good? All right, man.
Sounds like a plan.
Later, everyone.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.